So Hand Covers Bruise is actually the name of the song. I've done this in the past as well with Goodbye to a World, where I would name the video with the same name of the song. Because, to be honest, it kind of fits sometimes with the content of the video, and it's also a good way to point back to the original piece of music. For this song, I really like the mysterious, almost creepy vibe of the song. There's also some calming parts, like the subtle piano notes, but there's also kind of like an eerie feeling with that constant ringing in the background. And I kind of really like this unique combination of sounds and the kind of feeling that it can create. Usually when I go about choosing what kind of video I want to make, I always get inspired from the music. I would listen to the music first, and then I would feel some feelings, or I would feel like, oh, this music is trying to tell me a story, and then I would go out and kind of film the appropriate scenes to kind of fit the story. And I thought this music had a really interesting story to tell, so which is why I chose it. For Hand Covers Bruise, the goal was to illustrate a man's journey of just trying to live life sincerely. You know, just trying to do his best to do what he's supposed to do, act the way he's supposed to act, like being kind, let's say, or working hard, and just keeping true to his moral values. The innocent piano at the start is somehow kind of symbolizing this, kind of representing this. How, when we first start out, when we face the real world, we're just innocent. We're just trying to do what we're supposed to do, just trying to treat people the way we're supposed to treat them, things like that. Of course, life is not very fair, and this is a recipe for disaster. Society won't always reciprocate. There's a lot of bad things that goes on, and sometimes the character in the story, he gets stepped on, and he gets dragged around and manipulated and used, and so on. And so he finds himself walking around, bruised, trying to cover them up, trying to seem like he's doing just fine, because that's the expectation. Of course, this little act can only hold for so long. So one day, in a deep, dark, hidden corner of his mind, some emotions and urges start to emerge and rise. And these feelings, they kind of start cold, faint, and non-existent almost. Then it slowly comes up to a light simmer. It just won't go away. And he keeps on trying to suppress it and trying to find his old, happy self back. He knows it's wrong to go against his code, the way he's been living this whole time. He feels like his happy, kind self is slipping out of his grasp, like trying to grab onto a ghost or trying to scoop up water with a fork. He knows this original version of him is still inside of him somewhere, but he just can't seem to bring him out anymore. And so eventually he realizes he's changing. There's now a voice, a faint melody that won't stop playing and won't go away, sounding away from a corner in his mind. So he kind of isolates. He finds these quiet, dark places where he can't hurt anyone. But of course, no human is ever perfect. He discovers that when he gazes into the abyss long enough, eventually the abyss looks back. And the dark alleyways shown in the video are supposed to represent this kind of infinitely deep abyss, dark, cold, and lonely. This is of course a reference to Friedrich Nietzsche's quote, which goes, "He who fights with monsters might take care, lest he thereby become a monster. And if you gaze for long into an abyss, the abyss gazes also into you. And this quote means that when you fight against evil or bad people, in the quote he refers to them as the monsters, you need to be careful not to become like them yourself. If you act in the same cruel or harmful way, you lose your own goodness. It also means that if you spend too much time focusing on the dark or negative things in life, or in this case the abyss, those things can start to affect you deeply. The darkness can change how you think or feel. So if you look too long into the abyss kind of looks back into you and kind of changes how you act or how you think or feel. In summary, the quote means to say, when you fight against evil or darkness, be careful, because the evil can change you. It can change who you are. And Nietzsche here tells us to be careful, to stay true to yourself, and stay true to our values. And this is exactly what the character in the video is currently wrestling with. Yes, I was walking into dark alleyways in the dead of night to get these shots. Probably not the smartest thing to do, but the fact that this video is uploaded is proof I made it out alive. Anyways, thank you for enjoying Hand Covers Bruise, and I hope this video somehow explains the kind of story I wanted to tell. It's not really easy putting such abstract feelings into words, and perhaps you can consider rewatching the original video, after knowing the inspiration and story behind the video, and maybe you will find a newfound appreciation for it. Thank you very much for listening.